This is episode 3 of the Current Comfort and Coffee podcast. John, you're Current,
I guess.
and I'm Comfort. My name's Randy. And coffee today I got from Big Apple Bagel in Davison. Thank you, Pam. I love you, Pam. Sorry about your leg. She broke her leg.
Yeah, I was in there the other day and I couldn't remember if
Around.
yeah, I was looking because I heard her talking about it and I looked down and I saw she had a broken. I was like, did she have a broken leg before? I know Pam's name. I've met her before. I've gone in there several times and she looks at me and asks me how things are going as if she knows me. And I feel like she identifies me as somebody for Delaire, but she can't remember my name, which I am very empathetic to because I do the same. I mean, you can tell me right now, what's your name? Don't even listen to the answer. And
Don't what's your name? I don't care.
yeah. So, no, I was going to ask her about it and then I was busy.
I don't know how she hurt her leg. I can't remember now. She posted about it on Facebook, and I mean, the most I could do is be like, "Let me know if you need anything." I'm just here. So my name's Randy Dallaire. I own Dallaire Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. I have almost 20 years of experience in HVAC and a little tiny bit in electrical, thanks to this guy. This is John Harvey.
I am the master electrician over at Dallaire Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, and I have a little over 10 years experience in the field and mostly in the construction industry. I guess we're your hosts for today.
Yeah. And last day and the day next.
The day next.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to say tomorrow because we're not recording tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
A week from now.
Yeah. That's
the
true.
Next day. And the next day.
And the next day.
So
hopefully we got some audio problems working. I know it seems like every episode we do has
looks like our levels are good. We don't have feedback in our headphones today. So yeah. I think we're good. My mic was a little bit quiet last time, but it looks like it's better than it was the last time. I don't know. You guys tell me. Oh, let me pull this up real quick. YouTube. Oh, I don't even have the app downloaded, so we can talk about something else while I do that. We got our first comment on the podcast.
Really?
Yep.
Is it somebody we know? Or?
No, we did get one from Audrey Kuhn that she forgave me for blowing up her stove, and she's not sure that the air fryer works.
I asked her about the air fryer. I was like, does the air fryer work? And she's like, it's okay. We're getting a new one. And I'm like, you're not answering my question. I was like, we will replace your air fryer.
I love you, Audrey, and I'm sorry I blew up stuff.
I was looking at air fryers yesterday at Walmart. Ninja makes a badass vertical one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like XL. Yeah. God, I want another air fryer.
I love my air fryer.
I do too.
It's just a little mini oven.
Mine's just too small. That's the problem I have.
Pull up the account. We've got 593 subscribers on YouTube now.
Get out of here.
That's from my other videos too. It's not just from the
podcast. Okay. That's crazy, man.
This comment is from Joker Inc. Custom Builds.
Is it mean?
No.
Okay, good.
This is from your crawlspace coughing fit.
Yeah.
Short. Electrician here. I don't mind the occasional rodent or dead animal, but if there is full of bird or bat shit, I ain't crawling in it. On another note, I used to do a lot of work in sewage stations.
Oof.
After the first day you're there, you were sick with the runs for 3 days, and then your immune system was okay with it as long as you went there on a regular basis. But if you went on a week vacation and came back to the sewage station, you would become sick for 3 days again.
Yep.
LOL.
That sounds horrible.
There's 2 things I don't mess with, and it's pee and poop.
Yeah, same.
I just can't. The most I can do is pull a stool. I'm not gonna be cutting into poop pipes. I've heard too many horror stories.
Yeah, I've seen things, honestly, and I just I know like electricians and plumbers are supposed to be mortal enemies, but I have the utmost respect for those people. I mean, they are just the things. A shitty day for a plumber is a shitty day.
Quite literally.
Quite literally. And no, that's a job I wouldn't want to do. You know, it's
Yeah.
like working at a daycare. That's not something I want to do either.
Yes.
So that'll make you sick.
Well, like my wife's a psychologist, and I can't imagine some of the stuff that she's talked to me about. Like, obviously, she can't be too specific because she's got patient-client confidentiality, but she could tell me that she has a client with this problem, and it's like, whew. I thought my life was bad.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not something that I would be. It's not feasible for me to do that job. I would be bawling along with the client the entire time.
My mom worked for when I was a kid. She worked for Child Protective Services.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's I didn't get to see a lot of the things, but you also like you hear some of the stories, you know, not directly to me, but you know, when she talked to my dad, you know, I heard things that stuck with me.
Yeah.
I saw, I believe there was a night that she came home with a couple kids who had accidentally burned their house down. And I don't think the parents made it. I don't remember that well, but it was you know, it's like, it's things that
They stayed in your house,
seared
is that
in.
what you're saying?
Huh? They were in the car. They were in the
Mhm.
car, you know, at the time. There was some sort of nighttime emergency, and I had woken up because of it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just, those are things that I feel like stuck with me
Yeah.
forever. And I don't think I'll ever forget them.
Well,
And
fair.
yeah, and
It'd be weird if you did forget about it.
I realized even at a young age, there's just things I can't, like, that I am unable to process, and I don't think I'll ever be desensitized to them.
Right.
So,
Poop.
poop.
Murder.
Yeah, murder. Yeah.
Arson.
Yeah, well, that was a weird tangent based on a sewage story.
Yeah, sure
Yeah.
was. Well, that's what's special about us is we can just kind of keep going. Right?
Yeah, we really got off track there.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
hopefully you appreciate it, sir.
I do.
Thank you for commenting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep them coming. If you guys have any more comments, I thought about posting on Facebook and being like, "We're about to record the podcast. Let us know if you have any questions," but I didn't do it because I would have had to check Facebook or whatever right before and be like, "So and so wants to ask this question."
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one or two of them, you know, it's kind of nice because it's weird. I mean, it feels like we just started this. We still have sound problems. We still have lighting problems. We still have audio problems.
That's how you know we're worth it. People are still listening.
Yeah, it's the content that I think really matters, and I think a lot. You know, I honestly, I found myself saying it several times that I really think next step. I mean, even before we fix our own audio, we should try and get some sort of format where we've got guests.
Oh yeah.
Because there's I love hearing it's like you know, Sewer Guy or Joker.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many different trades outside of mine, and not even just trade specific stories, but you know, just job site stories.
Mm-hmm.
I've got more than I can count.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't think of them until somebody says a trigger word, and you're like, "Oh, that happened to me."
Yeah,
and then you get to tell your story.
Yeah,
yeah, the war stories, right? Tim from Aladdin's.
Yep.
He loved telling stories. You could tell he just loved telling us all about stuff that he's ran into. We barely got a word in for a good 15 minutes at one point.
Yeah.
He was just going and going about.
And you don't want to put a word in. I mean, you want to listen to his story about
wanted to hear it.
Yeah, the spider crickets. Jesus.
Yeah. Man, I had to Google that. They are spider crickets. Like, ugh.
Yeah. I think everybody's got a crawl space story.
I could never live in the South or like Australia or something. I'd just die. Like nothing would even bite me. I'd just die.
Mm-hmm. Dust.
Poof. Yeah. All right. So the topic that you had for today was the Apprentice versus the
Veteran. Apprentice versus veteran mindset. Lessons learned the hard way. I don't know about lessons learned the hard way.
Learned a lot of lessons.
I can really only speak to you know, my own, I guess, experience as far as the veteran versus.
Yeah. Do you consider yourself a veteran?
Not not yet. I feel like I'm getting there.
You got the veteran mentality though.
I think no, no. I hope that my mentality becomes the veteran mentality.
Yeah.
Um, I think the trades as a whole, and maybe it's just where I came from, but the all of my mentors, not all of them, most, um, were not very knowledgeable. Um, they were they begrudged my success at every turn.
Yeah.
And once I reached a certain level of success, they took every opportunity to tear me down.
Yeah.
It was not a build people up kind of industry.
Mhm.
Um, until I reached a management level. One of the guys, when I came back to the company I'd originally started for, shout out to Dan Pohl, was
I do.
one of the best mentors I think I've ever had. He wasn't he wasn't like a super sociable guy.
Mhm.
Like he wasn't but when you sat he somehow found the patience to be interrupted in all the thousand things that he did to explain something to you and that was just not something I ever got in the field
Yeah.
ever. If yeah, and he was so knowledgeable, but I feel like those people don't stay in the field for very long, and maybe for that reason.
Yeah.
It's just not it's a mindset thing,
Mhm.
right? But I hope it gets better,
Mhm.
as I move into management of different, of your company. We've had that conversation that I'd like to see, as we start developing our apprentices, I would like to see more of training, more of lifting up, which is one of your core
Mhm.
values. Which is why I think your core values are my core values, which is why I gravitated to your
Yeah.
company.
Yeah. Lifting up others is extremely important for the success of a team, right? So if you're constantly tearing people down, not only do they not want to be there
Yeah,
because they don't like being around you, but they don't really learn anything. You shut down. You're not receptive to information after you say, something mean,
yeah,
you know. And when I was an apprentice, we don't have really those terms because we're not union in HVAC, but the union guys do have apprentices and journeymen for HVAC, pipe fitters, and then sheet metal workers unions. I think both do that. Either way, we're not union. So it's like leads and helpers has always been like the term. I do like assistant technician. I feel like is better than just helper. It's not really fair to expect everybody to know everything, but also like give you something to strive for. Like, do you meet the description of a technician? Anyway, when I was a helper, I used to have guys that I hated working with. And I won't say your names on here. And then there was guys that I learned a lot from. Joe Valaire, same spelling as Dallaire, but with a V. Ken Cathy, Damon Howe, Cliff Howe. These are guys that I learned a lot from, and it was because even though like they could be pissy little bitches on the job site
can't we all?
sometimes, they did stop and they taught me.
Yeah,
And sometimes it was with, why don't you understand this yet?
yeah,
But most of the time, especially with like the Joes and the Cliffs and the Damons, um, they'd slow down for a second and tell me why it worked that
yeah,
way. Not necessarily all of the back end, theory, but why we do it this way and that it needs to be done this way every
yeah.
single time.
Best practices.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And, I called Joe, I don't know, like a month ago because I couldn't remember off the top of my head how far a fresh air needed to be from a vent pipe. And I could have looked it up, but I was driving and I had somebody asking me. I didn't have my code book with me. I didn't have the furnace manual with me. And the technician that was asking me obviously didn't have either of those things either. So I just called Joe real quick
is it
and
5 feet?
it's 4. Yeah.
It's close.
Yeah. I thought it was 3, so I'm glad I asked.
Yeah.
But it needs to be 3 inches from any operable window, or 3 feet from any operable window. So that's the number that was stuck in my head. But if I ever have a question like that, now I know where the resources are to get them. Sometimes it's a person, but most of the time it's the manual. It's funny that they give you instructions for that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not our industry doesn't get as much, at least the side of the industry, the code book is what dictates installation methods for the most part.
Yeah. As long as the things that you're putting in are certified and you meet those code requirements, you're golden.
Yeah. I mean, even at a minimum, usually there are things that are not code that are, good practice. They make for a more, code is minimum, right? It's the least way you can do it.
Yep.
You put a support every 10 feet, or you could put it every 6 feet. And
which one's better?
Yeah. It's
for every 4 feet for PVC vent pipes. Now you know.
It's every 4.5 for Romex.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It changes for everything though.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, it's I totally lost my train of thought. I was going to add to it.
Apprentices and veterans, like what?
Yeah,
what is the difference in mentality?
The veterans I've met, it's few and far in between. Honestly, for me, I've met veterans in the field that never changed. And then I've met veterans in the management structure. I would say the veterans in the management structure, I wish we could get that mentality to go downward.
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
Yeah. Setting culture is different than being a part of it.
Yeah. And as management, you have to actively reach downward and say, are you getting the training that you need? Because the schools are bad too. I mean, it's the guy who's in the field building the thing, doing the thing, is good at being in the field and doing the thing, not sitting in front of a classroom of children and teaching. And there's more than one problem, here. It's not any one particular thing, but I feel like, I've been in these classes, and half the time the teachers are just people that they've gotten to agree to come in and working at night for like $30 an hour with a maximum of 5 hours, and now you're there till 9 o'clock at night with a bunch of kids who are forced to be there.
Yep.
And
not only that, they paid money to have to be there.
Yeah.
Hopefully make money someday.
Right. Yeah. I think the trades need the same thing the rest of the world needs: good leadership. I mean, you need to, we need to start bringing people up. We need to start teaching them. You're always going to need people to build things. Problem is that, like, a lot of people don't want to build things, and we've been sold a bunch of bullshit. Not bullshit. We've been told, pay $100,000 at the age of 18 and go learn this thing so you don't have to actually do anything.
You don't have $100,000? It's okay. We'll give you a loan with no credit history or payment history or income.
Oh, by the way, you can't take it into your bankruptcy. That's yours forever now.
Your prefrontal cortex isn't done developing yet, so you can't make good decisions yet. Here's a loan.
Yep. Yeah. No. And the thing is, we're always going to need it. Look, AI is not going to solve, a labor problem. The industry truly needs, in my mind, reform to some degree. It's like we've got to cater to, but instead we've been told that if you do labor, you're stupid. And you know what I mean? Yeah. We've been selling that message for 40 years.
Just a plumber.
Yeah. Okay.
I couldn't do that.
That's civilization, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's
remember the aquifers in Rome?
I know. I don't know.
Indoor plumbing.
I know. Indoor lights.
Yeah.
It's
things we take for granted, and then when they don't work, we're like, it should just be simple. All we got to do is walk in and flip on a light switch.
I've been in the house where the person treats me as beneath them the entire time I'm in there.
They can't freaking.
Even they can't do it.
You got it. Looks like you know more than me.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
I've told people on the phone before, like they're talking me through all the ways that it needed to be done. I'm like, it sounds like you've done this for a living or something.
Yeah.
Well, no. Okay, well, I have.
Yeah.
So,
My favorite customer is like I don't know if you've been like in a neurotic one. I going to a job one day and I called a guy I had, I was working with, and I'm like, oh, I'm going out to Jill Smith's house. He's like, oh God. I was like, what? And he's like, be prepared.
good luck.
And I'm like, and I got out there and there was a problem at the office. They hadn't called an inspection for the day. This man lost his mind. He was just, well, what are you going to do? Have you called so-and-so? I was like, I have. Also, I have to do the job I'm here to do. So I'll give you answers when I have them. And he was like that all day. I mean, right, breathing down my neck. What have you done? What are you, and finally, I get the job done. I've got the inspector on his way. We've got a resolution. His smart thermostat died. It's for whatever during the panel change, a power outage. I don't know what happened. The battery died. It doesn't work now. So I called Andrew and I was like, hey, it's like this, he's telling me this is what you have to do. I've seen this 1,000. Okay. And this guy's behind me. Well, it was working before. It must have been something you did. This is what you got to do. Like, and I'm on the phone with Andrew and I'm like, hold on, let me go to the basement. And I go down to the basement just out of earshot. And I'm like, this guy won't fuck off. Like, he will not leave me alone. It's like, I can't solve problems with this,
Right.
with this customer breathing down my neck.
Sir, can you walk away for a minute?
Yeah. Yeah.
60 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I got on that story.
I mean, this is how it works with us.
Yeah.
I feel like I can actually say Andrew Bates, if you're listening. Is very particular. Yeah. And he did a tremendous amount of research before I showed up to put in the exact unit that he wanted. And everything needed to be done the way that he wanted it to be done. He put the spot on the wall, marked it out with a pencil before I drilled the hole and everything, because that's where he wanted it. I actually appreciated that.
Yeah.
There's a difference between that particular customer that's nice to you and the particular customer that's an asshole, right? And that's not you, Andrew. Just like, even though there was a mistake with the drain line. When he first called me, you could tell he was frustrated, obviously. But when I told him, I'll just come out and fix it, he was like, oh.
I don't know what's going through.
Yeah. Turns out you just got to fix it. It made his life easier that I wasn't standoffish, and it made mine easier that he wasn't standoffish,
I don't know that this guy was being an asshole so much as he was just like, he lived in a world of some sort of unimaginable stress to me. And he could not step away from it. And it wasn't registering in his mind that I not only had to solve his problem, but I had to solve my problems as well. And and he wasn't helping, and he didn't seem to recognize that. And
sir, you're making this worse.
Yeah.
I think, there's, and I feel like it's the same mentality, like that, that like sense of control, like you want to be able to be in charge of the job, even though you're hiring a professional to do it. One thing about Andrew is he's a veteran, and he's got a bad back. So he literally can't do it. I bet you that he'd be able to put that thing in by himself based on the amount of research he did without me at all. The main reason he called me is for the warranty, obtaining the equipment, having the license for it, and the fact that it was hard labor and he wasn't capable of it. He was struggling to mow the lawn.
Maybe the tools, even,
yeah. I mean,
sure.
I've got the experience and stuff, but he wanted to know how the whole process was going and everything. Like it was important to him that it got done correctly, and to the point where he was like looking up the model of the unit that he wanted to make sure it took care of the space and his needs. And he was doing the research when he had the drain problem, because it was giving like a vinegary smell. I guess because the drain disconnected inside of the tubing outside. I don't know why, but that's what the problem was, and we fixed it. I even went through like cleaning the unit and everything. He wasn't like hovering over me the whole time, but he'd come up to check on me occasionally and see how I was doing. Why is it that you take it apart that way? Asking questions rather than say, it worked fine when. So I just feel like despite that same like, I don't want to say anxiety, but like that want or need for control,
Yeah.
there's definitely different ways to go about it.
Yeah.
Oh, but back to the subject of that veteran versus apprentice mentality. If you're a veteran on site, a journeyman, a lead on site, do you think that that changes your perspective on?
I think if we're going to define veteran versus apprentice mentality, we go to kind of a young worker versus old worker in any not so much the older guys versus the younger guys, because I feel like um, younger guys can come in with a veteran mentality.
Yeah.
I feel like a veteran mentality would be defined in the trades as somebody who comes in and understands that we're here to do a thing, right? It's the job versus career mentality. I've seen guys that have been there for 20 years who just want to get their rate, right? Well, that kind of mentality of it really hurts the job, right? It hurts the company. Um it's hard.
Yeah.
It's anybody who has been around in a company for a long amount of time, who's done jobs, understands that they need to push the job to get it done, to make the money, to keep things, to get the next job,
Yeah.
to make the money, to get the next job. That I've seen it in guys that have been in there in the trade that are just coming in, and I've seen it in guys that have been there forever. And then I've seen guys that come in and they understand, like, hey, we got to do this. And every minute we're standing around not doing this is we're not getting paid any more money for. And there's guys that I think inherently understand that. And then there's guys that just don't. And they may never, maybe it's that they don't understand, but they don't care.
Yeah.
And I feel like as far as trades are concerned, that is the apprentice versus tradesman mentality.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like you even saying that brought a bunch of people to my mind. You like giving as examples of what puts these people in these positions. And I thought of Jared McCready. I worked with him at Holland Heating. He must have started shortly after I did. Um, but he came from Baker College back when they had their HVAC program. And they I'd never really heard any good things about their HVAC program, and Baker's not there anymore. It's something else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it was kind of a surprise that this kid, basically like 2 or 3 years older than me, I want to say, um, knew as much as he did. And even to this day, like I still think of Jared as like that technician I want to be like someday,
Yeah.
He just kind of came in. It didn't matter that he did literally start digging ditches for geothermal units. He was working on geothermal units. He was learning how to put those things in by himself. You could tell that, he could be left alone on a job site and he wouldn't touch anything if he didn't know how to do it. But he would figure it out if he needed to, and that really inspired me to be the same way. Like I want to be like that someday.
Yep.
So like if I didn't know something, I'd Google it, and I'm not saying you trust everything you find on YouTube, but you can find some corroborating evidence that that is true from a couple different people, or open the manual, that was one of his quotes that I think of all the time. As we were in a meeting and one of the technicians said, "How do you know all this stuff?" He said, "It's in the manual. How the hell do you think I know it? It's right here. It's in the book that comes with it." And it was that frustration from him that like, you have the information, that really spoke to me, that like I can obtain this, this should be free information for everybody, which is why I like doing stuff like this. That teaching that a lot of the veterans don't end up wanting to do is something I'm really passionate about.
It's because you've allowed people that come in with that mentality to exist in there because you need labor.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's real and it's everywhere. And while I understand it, I don't necessarily agree with it, but it's both things can be true.
Yeah.
It's, I think that, yeah, I can tell right away when you hire somebody, either that person is there for you to say, hey, go do that thing. and then pay me money, or that person is there to reach the next level, right? I brought a guy onto the site where he doesn't know much, and either he is standing there waiting for somebody to tell him what to do, or he's actively asking questions. Well, how does this work? How do I go, how far away do you need these things to be, these supports to be from each other? What tools do you use to do this thing?
Or even, I did it. Does that look okay?
Right. Yeah.
That was my thing. It's like, you tell me to run a wire, I would try my best and then be like, does that look okay?
So that the next time he's on that job site, he needs less direction, and he needs, like, though you can identify those. If you are a good manager, you can identify those things right away. It doesn't take, I could have a guy on a job site for a week, and I could tell you pretty much whether that guy is the kind of guy that is going to move progressionally towards it. It's an apprenticeship, right?
Yeah.
Like, when you think of apprenticeship, the point is to learn. Like, you're doing the thing for somebody who knows what they're doing to learn. So either you're coming in with the mentality to learn, or you're not.
Yeah.
I
agree. I mean, I'm not just here to toot my own horn, but that's literally how I got to where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
Is I learned a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not God's gift to heating and cooling. I'm just really freaking good at what I do. And it's because I've spent the last 20 years figuring it out. One of my favorite things to brag about my brother is, Andrew. He will call me with solutions, not just problems. Sometimes he doesn't know if it's the best solution, and he'll run it by me. But he always calls and says, like, hey, I ran into this issue, so I was thinking I could do this. And he's kind of just calling for my blessing. Most of the time he doesn't have to call me, because he just figures it out and does it. But if he's got, like, but I don't know if there's a different way that you can think.
Yeah, is there a flaw? Is there a flaw in my idea? I mean, that's collaboration.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I mean,
that's teamwork. And I think that's what I appreciate about that, like, veteran mentality. And talk about a guy that has gone from 0 to 100. Like, Andrew started doing this 7 or 8 years ago. I want to do 6, 7. I want to say 7 or 8 years ago now. And I brought him in just, like, to help, like, break down scrap and help run the warehouse and stuff, and just boom, straight to lead installer. Like, he just learned so fast. And now he's the HVAC operations manager. Like, he runs the show for the HVAC department. And you'd never know it just by, like, talking to him, normal, that he's capable of that on the back end. You know what I mean? You never know who is going to be like that, by just meeting them, but, yeah, there's people like that, the Jareds and the Andrews, of the industry, that just pick it up and run, and I've always been impressed by that. I'm a little bit slower than that. I need to, like, be told a couple times why, and then I start to retain it. I think it's ADHD.
Yeah.
But if you show me how to do it, if I do it, and then I got to do that every day as part of my job, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. ADHD is a blessing and a curse, right?
I feel like it's a superpower half the time.
It is. While I'm same, I have to be told sometimes I have to be reminded multiple times to do. Learning Breezy was an exhausting challenge for me.
Mm-hmm.
With your company, but also I get bored. Once I've mastered something, and then I want to hop to the next thing, which is, I think, the upside of kind of having that in the trades.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's it keeps you learning, keeps you moving on to the next thing. So yeah.
So that's the main difference for you, huh? Between an apprentice and a veteran, is lying a little.
I feel like I found, like, flaws in my own logic here as I kind of talked it out, because you can't define, I guess, the apprentice mentality as, not seeing it as a job, but also seeing it as a job, right? Like,
right.
What I see in the field as an apprentice mentality is that I'm here for a job, but what the mentality as an apprentice should be is otherwise. And I don't think there is I think there's, like with anything, there is different people.
Mhm.
People are different, you know. I think a lot of if I have to, I guess, give it something, a lot of the apprentices these days, I think, want that learning more so.
Mhm.
Um, so maybe that's the apprentice mentality, and the veteran mentality changes depending on how people were brought up,
Yeah.
right?
I feel like you can have good and bad leaders.
Sure.
Um, and I've had those on job sites and in the office. The Some of my employers, some of my bosses, some of my coworkers, and some of my helpers have been problematic in those ways, where they don't want to learn, or it's not about progress for them. It is just a means to an end to get a paycheck and go home. And
Yeah.
I hate being here and all that. And if that's the way that you see life, it's always going to be a struggle, right?
Yeah. I mean, you do this, you know, you work 30% of your life,
Mhm.
right? At least.
Unless you do our
It's,
jobs, then
yeah.
it's 50%.
So it's, I can't imagine having that mentality of hating who you work for, hating what you do. Like you have to find something that you like with people you like to some degree. Otherwise, you are going to have a miserable existence.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the conversations I have with my son all the time is he'll look at somebody that's talented in some way, right? Like it'll be a 10-year-old just jamming on the drums or whatever, and he'll be like, I can't do that. I'll be like, literally, yes, you can. Literally, yes, you can. You can't right now, but if you wanted to, that kid's been playing since he was 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that person is really good at that because of practice. Everything in life is practice. And yes, some people are predisposed. I have good visual spatial skills.
Mm-hmm.
My wife is different. She does not have good visual spatial skills. I have poor dexterity. She has really good dexterity. She's good at crafts and stuff. Even though I can measure things with my eyeballs, she can use her fingers to do intricate little things. I can't do that. My hands don't work that way. So there are skills and abilities that certain people don't have. Like maybe you don't have rhythm, right? He's got rhythm. He plays the violin.
Mm-hmm.
But that conversation that I have with him, everything in life is practice. Like you might not be the world's best drummer, but you could be a drummer. There's no way you couldn't play a Rage Against the Machine song. Have you heard the drums in the background of a Rage song? Like it's not complicated. I could play those right now. Just kidding. Um, But I'm saying like everything in life is practice. I took
Yep.
20 years for me to get to where I am right now, and that's because I practiced at it. It wasn't because I'm just great at this sort of thing. I do have a
Yep.
predisposition to this type of thing. That's what school's for. That's what those career tests are for. Just see what you would be good at. I tried to do computers when I was 20, 21 years old, and I hated it. I like the very beginning of it was just classroom training and everything. I hated it. I could see myself hating my job right then and there. Why would I, for money? No, I'd rather be poor and happy. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'd rather work at McDonald's and be comfortable doing that than make a bunch of money and hate my life. You
Yes.
know, um,
I honestly think that's the key. What you just described is the key to success
yeah, for
for
sure.
anybody. It really is.
And
I enjoyed building
mhm,
with Legos and as a kid, and as I've gotten older, I love being part of the building industry.
mhm,
I love seeing it. I love understanding the codes and
yeah,
why. Have you ever looked up like fire code, like the fire partitions and the way they section off
I wouldn't
buildings
fight
so that
fires.
if the building catches fire, like people can get out? It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's amazing the things we've done in the industry to keep people safe, to, you know, to improve upon it. A lot of people just don't know.
yeah,
And if you find something you're passionate about, whether it's computers or honestly, even fast food, I mean, you go places,
yeah,
you know, you move up because that passion, uh, it's obvious to people who, you know, run things.
mhm,
So yeah,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm same. Right, like I used to play with Legos, or I had Kinects. I don't know
that
if you
was,
remember
yeah, no,
those.
those connects were my jam.
Yeah,
I don't like what they've done with them. They made them like tiny, and there's like a bit. It's the same thing with Legos, right? Like Legos are, I like Legos, but they've made 1,000 different pieces that do 1,000 different
Mm.
things, and it's very overwhelming
Yeah.
to me. I don't want to build something specific that has the curves that it needs to have. So I don't need 10 billion different Legos. I liked Connects because they were simplistic. I could make the thing, a concept of the thing I wanted to make out of these very basic 20 pieces.
Yeah.
Well, and then they did the thing Lego did where they're like, okay, we're going to make, another set that's smaller, but it also has adapters that fits to the bigger set. And, and we're going to make this special piece that does this special thing so we can make these more complex designs. And it ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Now they don't even make, I don't even know if they make the original set like they used to.
Right. I don't know either. One of my favorite toys as a kid, and I mean, a one-time use toy, is you set up it was a Connects roller coaster.
Yeah.
And it had the cars that went onto these lime green flexible tracks that you put on all these purple brackets that they were the, the radius pieces, like half circles, with the different connectors at different angles. So you had to like engineer this thing, to
with all the support
curves and all that. And obviously, I'm a kid. I'm following a diagram. I'm not like coming up with a roller coaster on my own. But then it had a little battery in it and a chain that moved the thing up to the top of the roller coaster, and then it would go through, and then it'd come back through and go up the chain again. And that thing was cool as hell. And I built that, and then I took it all back apart and never put it back together as a roller coaster ever again.
Yep.
I turned it into weird little green and purple monsters. I turned it into the houses and whatever, I just played around with it after that. And those curvy, flexible ones were so cool.
Yep.
You could make them do all sorts of cool stuff. I really enjoyed those. I'm trying to think of the name of the metal
erector sets.
The erector sets, that's right. I had one erector set car, same thing. I had like a battery in it, and you could like make it go around in circles and stuff.
Run them downstairs,
it had
see
like
if they survived.
Even had like a little steering wheel on it that connected to the front steering and all that.
Yeah.
It gives you a good like concept of how that type of system works, right?
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to engineer cars. I think engineering sounds terrible, and I'm glad that there's people that enjoy that sort of thing, because it couldn't be me, right? I get to yell at them when I can't reach the flame sensor inside of the furnace. Who engineered this piece of crap? But like that like mechanical skill was honed by these little toys as a kid, right? And I think that if you can find that thing that you enjoy doing, whether it's taking apart remote controls to see how they work, or designing computer games at home in your free time, like if that's what brings you joy, then make that your job, because that's what you're going to enjoy doing for a third of your life.
Yeah.
I really enjoy sleeping for one of the thirds. I think that's one of my favorite things to do.
You could just market that, man.
Yeah. I wish I could sleep for
Dude,
living.
the internet has if you got pretty feet, you can make money on the internet. I'm just saying.
I do have pretty feet.
I bet you put a camera on you while you sleep.
There we go. Yep. Just watch me kick.
Do you kick a lot?
I toss and turn all night. Yeah. That's why I like sleeping so much, because I don't get very good sleep. So when I do get sleep, it's amazing.
Yeah. I'd be willing to bet anything if you set up a camera on you and just put a live, like the Truman Show.
Yeah.
I guarantee you you'd have viewers.
There's weirdos watching.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yep. This night's sleep is brought to you by McDonald's. We're really getting to that like ow my balls stage of society from Idiocracy.
Yeah,
I mean,
I haven't seen Idiocracy.
That's unbelievable.
I've heard so many things about it. I have it on my media server.
You got to go home and watch it tonight, man. Okay. We're there.
Yeah. We all wear Crocs, right? So I have Crocs that wear them in the garden. Yeah, I feel like I'm the same page as you when it comes to that mentality. And I've applied that to a bunch of different stuff in my life. Gardening, keeping our chickens. That's more of Kristen's project. I'll be completely honest. She freaking loves our chickens
so bad.
They're the cutest little things in the world, and they make eggs. I had 2 eggs this morning. I put sourdough bread in some eggs and milk, and I cooked up 2 French toasts. The extra eggs went in to just be eggs. I put cheese on it and kind of made like an omelet scramble type thingy, mainly because I couldn't flip the omelet, so it turned into a scramble. And then I always get that Kirkland pre-cooked bacon. So I just throw that into the pan, cut it in half and throw it in the pan. So 4 half pieces of bacon. Put that all, I mean, I must have had breakfast ready in like 5 to 10 minutes. and it was so good. I only put butter on the bread. I did not put any syrup on it. It was so good.
I need to bring my wife over this spring so she can see your
Yeah.
chickens, and I need to convince her, because honestly, with the cost of groceries and just like I don't know, I'm just I have this existential dread about the world right now.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
And it's literally why I started gardening last year. I'm like, man, things just don't seem like they're going great. Like, I feel like I should learn how to make my own food.
Yep.
Uh,
It's
and
just a life skill
yeah,
that I want to make sure I have just in
yeah, right.
case, right?
Yeah, it's the whole thing. It's a community part too. Like, my neighbor brought over bread this weekend, and it was amazing. And it felt amazing that they did that, right? Because we bring them food sometimes, and it's nice to know that if things get really hard, that, one, that I'm developing skills to help me survive a really hard situation, but also that the people around me, are comfortable being, breaking bread together,
Yeah.
for lack of a better
No, yeah,
turn of
makes sense.
phrase there.
We used to only hang out with our neighbors because they were the only people we could get a hold of.
Yeah.
We didn't have telephones and,
Yeah,
cell phones and computers and stuff 100 years ago, right?
yeah,
I mean, 100 years ago, we're talking the first telephones, we're just getting away from telegraphs. That was a big thing. Radio, we're communicating on a wider scale for the first time. Before that, everything was, who knows how to make bread? I will give you 12 eggs for 2 loaves of bread.
yeah,
I know how to take care of chickens. Do you know how to fix my wood stove? And that's how we all functioned as a society.
yeah,
And now it's so much more. I mean, it's capitalistic.
yeah.
I
I don't think you have to
so you have
call
to
it
pay
good or
me money
bad, right?
for it, right?
Right.
And a lot of stuff was done on trade, and now and money is taking the spot of that trade, right? Like,
Yep.
We're exchanging goods and services for money, and so that I can go to the baker and pay them money, But I don't know. I feel like most people, if they were to tell me like, hey, I don't have much money, but I do have a car. Could I trade you this car for a new furnace? Like, I would consider it. I don't know what I'm going to do with the car, but there's a value to it,
Yeah.
right? And we could do something like that, because I just want to take care of people. I just want to take care of my neighbors.
I've been really blessed with good neighbors too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't have any complaints about my neighbors. Craig is my closest neighbor, and I end up doing like little projects and stuff for him here and there. Sometimes he'll shovel my sidewalk for me, and I'll snow blow his in
yeah,
return. I put his pool pump together for him when he put his pool in. Um, don't look at the electrical.
who the fuck did this?
I'm pretty sure it's all up to code.
It was Randy.
It's just a 240-volt plug on his deck, and I ran it all in PVC over to the plug.
Yeah, you're probably fine.
It's great.
I'm busting your balls.
It's glued. It's a weatherproof, tamper-proof cover. So yeah, it's I don't know, doing little things like that, hanging his Nest camera above his garage because I had a 32-foot ladder.
Yeah.
Like, I can help with that. And then they would do things in return. One time we were cooking and Kristen texted Bonnie, his wife, and said, hey, or I said Bobby, his wife, and asked for an egg. And she walked over with one egg.
There you go.
We don't have any eggs. And we really appreciate that. She likes cucumbers, and we gave her a ton of cucumbers. She gave us some back. She couldn't eat all of them. She's like, I don't want them. So yeah, it's I don't know. I really enjoy like that.
Yeah, it makes you feel it's a weird thing that I don't think happens a lot anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like the internet has really spurred people on, gotten people used to just being shitty to each other all the time about the things that they're not, that they don't like.
Yeah.
There's things about everybody that I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean I have to draw attention to them or dislike them for it.
Right.
It's just,
yeah.
that's the way the world
they're
works.
Not you. They're allowed to be somebody else.
Right.
I feel like most people that I talk to, aside from like some extremists on either side, are, we agree on most things.
Yeah.
Like, release the Epstein files.
Yes. Yeah.
Why?
Get pedophiles out of our.
Take the black marks off of them.
Yep.
Who are we protecting?
Yep.
Billionaires.
Yep. Well, they own everything, so
yeah, it's interesting.
Yep.
Come at me.
They might.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm tired.
Let's do it. Make things interesting. So, yeah, I mean, we talked about this in a previous episode, how private equity billionaires are ruining my industry.
Yeah.
They're doing it with the housing industry. They're doing it with electrical companies. They're, and we're literally preaching the opposite right now. The community, call your local people. Don't, just because they have a billboard, just because they have a large advertising budget does not mean that they're better at their job. And you can find companies that'll pay, that are thousands of dollars less than us because they're working out of a garage. If that's what you need to do that, right? And then there's also companies that are 2, 3, 4x what we are. And once you get above the level that we're at, the service does not increase.
Yeah.
That
I mean, they're taking, the thing is like you reach this point where you've got to take any labor you can get to keep up with the what your company is. And when you're taking whoever, you're getting whatever as a customer.
Yeah.
And that may be good or bad, but yeah, not always good.
Yeah. And I feel like we're pretty middle of the road as far as like our costs go for clients. But I feel like our service is right up there with the big guys,
Yeah.
Everything that we provide is top notch.
I am going out, I believe tomorrow. A little old lady called me. Nice lady. But she proceeded to spend 20 minutes telling me about what, like her son's girlfriend robbed her and she wants security cameras. We don't do security cameras. But I listened to her talk for 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And
we do now.
Yeah, I set up security cameras at my house. I can help her out. I can go out there. And like it's caring about the people.
It's giving care.
Yeah. I'm not going to make $1 million off this lady, but yeah, it's, if we can help her out and like, why not?
Make a couple bucks and make the lady happy.
Yeah.
Well, obviously there's a ton of brands and stuff out there. Our Honeywell thermostats have the First Alert brand tied to them, and you can use those ones with the same app. So if anybody's watching this and wants security cameras, we do have the ones that work with the thermostat and the water leak detector, the smoke alarm and CO alarm. Mine went off this morning while I was cooking, by the way.
Your CO?
Oh, the smoke alarm. Yep.
Is it close to your oven? I don't think
it's in the same room. It's in the living room, but that's just on the other side of the dining room / kitchen area. And I had oil in the pan and the temperature was a little high, so that smoke was coming off. And it didn't like set off the smoke detector. It was actually kind of cool. It was at a low level detection, so it sent me a notification on my phone. I heard it say sending notification about low smoke levels. And then I got an alert on my phone that said low smoke levels detected in living room. And I was like, wow, that's cool. And then my camera opened up. They've got like little shutters on them. It's my wife checking the living room on the camera. I said, I'm cooking.
Wait a minute. What has shutters on your cameras?
Yeah. Yep. So they're not just on all the time. They're only on when you activate them or when you punch in the code on.
And that's the ones that you're.
No, these ones are actually Simply Safe. This episode is brought to you by Simply Safe. Not yet. Reach out, Simply Safe. I do love my Simply Safe system. That's all my door alarms and all that. And there's 2 cameras. I've got one on each side of the main floor so we can see like the cats if we're out on vacation or if somebody is checking on the house or whatever, we make sure everything's okay.
I like the shutter idea.
Yeah. That's not watching you all the time.
Yeah. It's a lot of those systems have security concerns. I use Wise, which has, I believe they had a security breach or something.
Oh, that's fun.
I don't put them in the house though. I mean, I don't care some,
You want to like point it at the
Yeah, I don't care if the Chinese Communist Party wants to look at my front yard or my backyard. I just don't want to, point it in my, in my living room.
Yeah.
But
just watching in the front yard talking about Tiananmen Square.
Yeah, we there was a time when we did have when I did have cameras in the house,
Yeah.
and there was an instant we were using it as a baby monitor at one point, just because it was convenient, right? It was already tied to our security system, and we heard like talking coming from the room on the camera one day, and after that, I was like, nope. We'll just go buy a baby monitor.
Right. Was it like a wireless baby monitor, or was it the Wise system that you're talking about?
It was a Wise. Well, I don't think it was Wise.
Okay.
It wasn't Wise. It was I can't remember. It was part of the security system.
It was
that
a Wi-Fi.
I think we had
security camera.
Cove.
Okay.
Cove was our like the door sensors and
Yeah.
and it was one of those self-install systems. And they had cameras that were, I think, were third party that integrated with their system and in their cloud system. And I don't remember who made the cameras, but yeah, I do remember we were sitting there and you could hear somebody talking in my daughter's room, like a grown man, and I was like,
Nope.
yeah, I was like, these are coming out. It was like, we'll just go get one of those simple.
Yeah, we're gonna put it in a closed circuit television system.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, where are we at for time? 56 minutes and 56 seconds.
Man, you hit that nail, dude. Did you just guess? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I did.
You're pretty good at that.
I've been kind of looking down every once in a while to see where we're at, but yeah. No,
I feel like this was a good episode.
Yeah. No, I think we did all right.
Yeah.
So, any closing remarks?
Now I feel like I'm on the spot.
Yeah, come up with something. Come on, we're rolling.
Okay, bye. No, I think my closing remarks would be, if there's anybody out there who wants to weigh in on their own trade stories, I mean, we'd love to hear them.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I'd love to at some point even be able to. I mean, it'd be nice if we actually had the viewership to take a call on Discord.
Yeah,
like,
we can do something like that. Oh, I mean, with this app here, we can actually have somebody come in with their mic and with the Riverside app. So
yeah,
you can actually be a part of the podcast remotely, or we can have you sit right in here between us with an additional mic stand, and we can have a candid conversation and maybe even record an episode or two rather than just a segment of the episode. That'd be fun to have some other tradies on.
Yeah, even remotely or yeah, I like it.
Cool. Well, this has been the Current Comfort and Coffee podcast, coming at you live from J. Patrick Studios in Swartz Creek, Michigan, and the coffee provided today by Big Apple Bagels in Davison. Thank you, Pam. Hope your leg gets better soon. And I love you. Peace.